Good morning, Pauline.
Good morning, Judy. So good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you. And it's a cool Saturday morning, right?
Yes. I'm so glad you invite me here, really. You could invite a lot of teachers. Instead, you pick up me. So I'm really happy to see you today.
Thank you for you to come here and to have for my short interview.
Okay, should we get started?
Yes, of course. So
right.
later on, I'll have a couple of questions for you to answer.
Okay.
Okay, so for the first question I would like to ask is that as you are teaching in both senior high school and university, so you get along with both students. So what do you think is the difference between two of them?
Oh, good questions. I would say I'm so lucky to have this opportunity to teach both high school students and university students. Well, it really depends on which high school and which university. I've been lucky enough to teach in By High School and also in NTHU. Both schools students are pretty good, okay? However, because high school students are younger, so they don't have clear goal of their future. Therefore, they are passive learners, I would say. Of course, some are not, okay? Because of that, teachers have to be more demanding and we have to guide them step by step. However, in university, especially in NTHU, one of the best universities, so students tend to be goal-oriented. They pretty much know what they are here for. And one thing impressed me most is that, sometimes, for public speaking on the stage, if they failed in their feedback, they wouldn't feel sorry for themselves. Instead, they'll try to analyze that very moment, why they failed, and they'll try to strengthen their ability next time. This is something very impressive. So they tend to be more autonomous learners compared with high school students. That's the major difference.
Okay, I got it. Thank you for your precise comparison between those two to let others know better about the university students and the high school students. So for the next question I would like to ask is that since you have been teaching high school for nearly 3 decades, so you probably have a lot of sparks between those students. And what is your most unforgettable experience?
Well, I would say 2 stories. It has strong strike on me, okay? One of the students from high school came to me. That was almost 25 years ago. He told me that all his best friends entered Hsinchu Boys High School. That's the best school in Hsinchu. He's the only one left over and he came to By High School. So he was very frustrated. When I asked him more, and he told me on that very day when he took the high school test, his mother told him she's going to divorce his father. You could imagine, for a little child, when he was taking the test, he couldn't concentrate at all. That's why he failed. But luckily, this student told me whenever he was listening to the teachers on the stage, a lot of teachers were very optimistic and has strong influence on him. So when he grew up, now he's a manager, okay? When he grew up, he tried to reach out to help more students who are in need. On the other hand, one of the students in NTHU came to me after the class, and he told me that, he's in EE, okay, electrical engineering. He said that both his mother and father are medical doctors. When he was in junior high, he was sent to America, trying to receive American education, but he couldn't get used to it. So finally, he decided to come back to Taiwan, and he entered NTHU. And he wasn't interested in medical field at all. Because of that, his parents kept on asking him, very demanding, asking him to take the college test again or even return to America. So eventually, after chatting with him for almost 2 hours, I actually noticed this student has mental problem already. So these two cases reminded me that being a teacher, we have to be more careful. We do not limit ourselves to teach the textbook. We do not limit ourselves to teach the knowledge only. Sometimes life education means more, is more important. So those are the two cases I like to share with all the teachers to be.
Okay, so thank you for sharing the two cases that's based on the high school and also the university for us to compare the two differences. And so how do you keep your passion, and what is the driving power that make you have the motivation to keep on teaching students and helping those in need?
Oh, this is something I like to share. Teaching in NTHU every year, every semester, I would tell the students there are 4 different kinds of people. The first one, always turn down any challenges, any opportunities. The second one, reluctantly take the chances if people assign them to do something. The third one, welcome the opportunities, welcome the challenges. But for me, I think it's not enough. What if I am not noticed? Therefore, I like to say the best one is to create opportunities for yourself. Okay, I'm the kind of person, I'm very curious. Now, without curiosity, life could be very boring. So, if you want to remain passionate, you have to remain curious, no matter how old you are. So, I think I like to pass down my passion to my students and let them know, life is full of colors. It's really something out there for you to explore. So I think that's a major motivation I want to share with my students.
Yes, I believe that you've already passed your passion to many of the students in both Chupei Senior High and Tsinghua University.
Oh, thank you.
And I believe that I'm also one of them who have the feeling of that passion.
Okay.
Yes. So
I'm glad you.
Yeah. So last of all the questions I would like to ask is there any words that you would like to say to all the students in the teacher training courses?
Oh, teacher training courses.
Yes.
Wow, that's a great opportunity for me. Okay, I don't mind telling you that I have cancer, breast cancer, stage 2. But to me, this is a signal from God, because I'm glad I can still be used by God, but in different way. So the primary drive for my day-to-day life is no longer teaching. Instead, I focus more on life education. If next semester I'm going to resume my teaching in NTHU, my focus is not teaching English only. Instead, I will use English to share my life experience with students. I think it's important for all the students to remember that be empathetic, and also realize that life is full of twists and turns. Just like take me for example. It wasn't my anticipation that toward the retirement age, suddenly I have the breast cancer. It wasn't my anticipation. But it's a signal from God to tell me you have to make a turn. Therefore, your destination will decide your life journey. If you decide to study in America, then your life journey will be different. So, purpose-driven life is very important. I have a lot to share, but I know time is limited. Just to remind you, the best is yet to come. Make sure you know what your destination is and go from there.
Thank you for your warm-hearted words for those students.
I hope it helps. And I'm sure, a lot of teachers actually, they could be more experienced than I. It's just, I'm so lucky to be interviewed by you. And I do hope that can be generous to share. Sharing is a very important thing. I think if you are willing to share, you can help each other, and together we make life more meaningful and more enjoyable.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for your interview.
My pleasure.